Stop scrolling on your phone. Help me to mop the floor. Hey, do you hear me?
Huh? What did you say?
I was telling you not to scroll on your phone and help me to mop the floor.
Sorry, Mom. I'm just too focused on my phone.
Have you ever imagined getting rid of your smartphones for a whole day? Perhaps it's too terrifying to think about. Indeed, smartphone has been an irreplaceable daily necessity nowadays, which satisfies almost all of our needs, such as taking pictures, using social media, and playing games, etc. Among all these fascinating functions, the most prevalent one would be texting. Although texting on phones can bring tremendous convenience to our communication, sometimes we are too focused on our screen, which may turn out to bring us danger. Under some situations, such as driving, texting can even threaten our lives. Apparently, texting is closely linked with our reaction time on events happening around us, especially those happen suddenly and unpredictably. But how does texting quantitatively influence our reaction time on other events, and which type of smartphone usage actually has the biggest impact on reaction time? So, to start with, let's first understand people's perception and habits on using the smartphones.
So, let's look at our questionnaire part. This is the 4 questions of our questionnaire.
A majority of participants spend over 4 hours on their phones every day. Social media such as WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook are the most prevailing applications used by participants. Almost all participants have been using their phones while crossing the road or driving. A majority of participants text while they are crossing the road or driving, and over half of the participants play games.
Sometimes some text messages just are sent to you by accident or can be sent to you at any time. So even when you're crossing the road, I will still read those messages.
To listen to music when crossing the road, or I like to reply my friends quickly.
I'm bored while crossing the road, I guess.
Yes, because I think playing phone will distract me.
Yes, because I think playing phones will draw my attention to other places.
Yes, of course, because when you're focusing on your phone or any other electronic gadgets, you may be unaware of your nearby situations and the environment, so you may not be able to react to those accidents immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
I once dropped my wallet while I was walking on the street, and I realized it around a moment later.
One time when I'm riding MTR and I suppose I have to change the train in Mongkok station, but I skipped the station.
Get in the wrong train.
I prefer not texting the phone.
Texting the phone
Because for the safety reason.
I would like to reply my friends or family immediately.
because I will draw attention by other things, so I think safety is more important than my phone.
So let's move on to the experiment part. What are the materials for the experiment? A mobile phone used for playing the reaction time game. A mobile phone used for texting. A mobile phone used for phone calling. Stationery used for recording their reaction time. Firstly, we have invited 15 volunteers to participate in our experiment as subjects. 3 different reaction time tests will be performed, and there are 5 trials in each test. A reaction time game called Reaction Test Pro is used as our indicator of reaction time. For the first test, participants are asked to play the reaction time game. For the second test, participants are asked to play the reaction time game while texting. I live in Hong Kong and I'm a student on their phone. For the third test, the participants are asked to play the reaction time game while answering some mathematical questions through our phone call. The experimental data shown here are the results of the 3 tests the participants performed in 5 trials. After the analysis, we have compared the average reaction time of people while texting and phone calling and simply playing the reaction time game. Among the 3 tests, we found out that people who are texting while playing the reaction time game have the highest mean reaction time, which is 1.4247 seconds. Next, people who are phone calling while playing the reaction time game rank second, which is 1.0855 seconds. At last, people who only play the reaction time game have the lowest mean reaction time, which is 0.3534 seconds. So now let's move on to the analysis part.
Based on our result, pupils' reaction time will decrease when they are using their phone, and texting contributes more on this effect than phone calling. But what are the theories and biological principles behind this phenomenon? First, let's understand how our brain works when we're handling different tasks. Our brain receives signals from receptors all around our body, such as optical receptors in our eyes and pressure receptors on our skin, which give us vision and sensations. The signals are then transmitted as nerve impulse electrically among neurons and chemically between synapses of consecutive neurons. Finally, the brain is able to interpret the information sent from receptors and send nerve impulse to effectors such as muscles and glands and allow us to perform different movements in order to finish our task.
However, it's another story if we have to handle more than one task simultaneously, or what we call multitasking. Based on a research done by neuroscientists of the French Biomedical Research Agency, both sides of the brain are activated to set off the anterior to posterior chain when only one task needs to be done. But when several tasks have to be done at the same time, the brain will split its neighbor, which means that the left side of the prefrontal cortex is responsible for one task, and the right side is responsible for the other one. That's why our brain handles 2 tasks less efficiently at the same time when each side of the brain works independently. Here comes the question: how are the principles mentioned above related to our lives and safety? National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that texting behind the wheel takes a driver's eye off the road for an average of 4.6 seconds, which is the time for a car bumping against each other. According to the National Safety Council, using cell phone while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes each year. In fact, not only drivers but also pedestrians suffer from digital distraction. Texting while walking has caused more than 11,000 injuries in a decade, such as crashing into a wall, falling off stairs, stepping into traffic. You have never imagined this would happen, haven't you? The statistics above have uncovered the truth that we may overestimate our multitasking abilities, thinking that we can't be aware of what's happening around us. So, next time when you're walking on streets or driving, you shall consider putting away your phone.